It's Rapper Day. Do people call this rapper anymore? I remember my dad, who used to wake me up in the morning saying, put on your wrapper and slippers. I didn't have a wrapper and slippers. You know, I came from a kind of, I guess you'd say, middle class, upper middle class family. But for some reason, I mean, I was the fourth of four, so maybe by that time my mom had run out of gas. So I have a wrapper now, and it looks remarkably like her wrapper. I love this wrapper. Anyway, what is that about? Anais Nin said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Both involve pain and risk, right? So there you go. That's kind of the price of admission. And somebody asked in the comments if I would kind of tell the story of how I got here. And that's such a, you know, I've talked about it before. And it made, as I was thinking about that this morning, is it important to explain that again? Because I don't really know how I got here. There's a wonderful song by the Talking Heads, and I can't remember the name of it, but the lyric is, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, etc. You know, life led us to this point based on decisions we made and opportunities we had or didn't have, or people who came into our lives and went out. And I don't think, I mean, I guess I think what's important is not that I ended up a tarot reader necessarily, but I ended up with a creative outlet. And I just think I can't overestimate how important I think that is. You know, to draw, to dance, to tell stories, to throw tarot, to play an instrument, to, I think it was Kurt Vonnegut said, don't refrain from doing it because you're bad at it or you're new at it. Just do it. It's transformative. And somebody said the other day, the video I was listening to, fear, you know, anxiety and creativity can't really coexist. You can certainly work out your anxiety in creative ways. And that's a way to transmute that anxious, fearful energy into something happens. You know, people who sing the blues sing it for a reason. And they're not saying, life is swell, everything worked out for me. It's always, where's my baby? You know, I'm broke and down and out. But it's an art form with as much structure as a sonnet. You know, you make the declaration, you repeat that first line, and then the third line is sort of the evolution, and the fourth line is kind of the result. It's like an haiku. I love the blues. Is it all of these? Okay, so this might have to do with, I don't know, let's see. First card out, Two of Cups. Love, connection, which sets you free. It's not a codependent love. You know, there's the dove being released. Two in the bush, worth more than one in the hand. You know, it's a love that sets you free. Knight of Wands. This fellow keeps appearing, reading after reading. And again, it looks like somebody, I mean, Knight of Wands doesn't ordinarily strike me as aggressive, but this guy looks aggressive, particularly in the context where he's poking that wand at the dove. It's like shooting an arrow at, wasn't my father, I think it was one of his brothers, was given a bow and arrow for Christmas, and the mom said, you know, don't bother us, go off and play with your presents. So you know, my uncle went out as a kid with his bow and arrow and spotted a bird and strung it and let it go, and he hit the target, pierced it through and through. So he took the bird, still on the arrow, dead as a clam, you know, clam, into his mother and said, look what you made me do. There's something about, because this is kind of an aggressive energy, piercing the dove and then not claiming any responsibility for it. My uncle was a kid, so I'm not holding him accountable, but I'm saying, you know, actions have consequences, and if you subvert the creative energy, Wands energy, toward fighting off love, because you know it introduces the potential heartbreak, I think it can be considered immature. Let's see, maybe this Knight of Wands, male or female, is right to take this action, which looks like my uncle killing the dove. Two of Wands. That's a crossroads energy. That's a choice between two things, two paths maybe, or two things you can do, two endeavors. It looks aggressive to me that this Wands person has made the choice for this reactivity when they are presented with the opportunity to love somebody. Their heart opens up, and they kind of want to pop the bubble. On Two of Cups, Knight of Cups. So we have this aggressive pop the bubble energy. And heading in the other direction on the board is Knight of Cups, love on the move. You know, this is the bird. So it's kind of a nutty reaction to choose to charge and aggress against the possibility of that kind of connection. And it doesn't seem to phase this one at all. There's something almost like a Gandhi-like or a Martin Luther King, you know, when met with aggression, you meet it with love. And that doesn't mean woogums, because this Knight of Wands energy can really hurt. It's in the, I'm seeing the civil rights marches where people were bonked on the head and pushed with a, you know, and they were peacefully marching in this kind of calm, proud way. And they were met with aggression. You know, the bat, the wand, the knight who is aggressive versus the, yeah. A lot of Wands energy under Knight of Wands, and next to Knight of Cups is the Four of Wands. That's not aggression. I think we have two really different approaches. One of them is like, get out of my way, here I come. Screw off, love offer. I don't want to feel vulnerable, And this person may not linger, They may say, right, I'm going to move forward in love toward this kind of energy. That's my choice. Accord, reunion. It's loveliness. It's the blooming flowers. It's the bower. The bower I often refer to, and this is slightly, because there's a thing called a bower bird, where the male bird, in order to attract the female in, it does creative art, gathers beautiful objects and arranges them in sort of a pattern. It's not just scattering stuff down it's really intentional, and the result is lovely. Male or female, creating the bower that draws draws in love. Boy, throat chakra just completely shut down. Somebody can't talk about it. Maybe that's why they're aggressing or driving this connection away. Two of Wands, Two of Cups, because one direction could have led in the direction of connection, the direction of connection. Is that a blues song we're writing here? Under Two of Wands, Nine of Cups, I had to look again because it's two doves coming together. And nine speak to the personal, can be self-love in order to love the other person. You need to call in through your open heart somebody who will make you happy, will love you back. And it's a card of wish fulfillment, like you're their dream come true, they're your dream come true. And every loving relationship will involve struggle. But this is like fighting against their own best interests. They could have gone the other way. And this could be this same energy returning, having gone through some transformation, have matured. I think this is the other person, but let's see. On Knight of Cups, Sun. Happiness, wish fulfillment. Personal happiness, wish fulfillment. It's a card of the Sun, of happiness, of transparency. Things are in the light, nothing's hidden under the, you don't tuck it under your mattress, you actually bring it into your life. Wands energy, making the choice to move. Wands can be about movement and direction toward happiness. And the horse is going right off the edge, in Fool energy, which is also Wands. You see the Fool right on the edge. This guy's right on the edge. I'm hearing, I think it's a song from the 70s maybe, fooled around and fell in love. You know, somebody may have taken a kind of impulsive, immature action, treated this connection in an immature way, fooling around, you know. But they were on the cliff edge of something. They were about to take a leap toward the connection, fooled around and fell in love. I think they've become Knight of Cups, following their happiness, even if it's risky, that full energy of taking a leap that kind of into the void almost. No direction, for, you know, one's energy, no direction home, like a rolling stone. Bob Dylan. Divine Masculine, clarifying this Knight of Cups card. And we have the ladder here. You know, it's vibrating at a really high frequency. It's the frequency of light and love. That's a really nice combo. Light, one's energy, and love. Choosing to move toward what makes you happy, you know, toward a wish fulfillment, the kind of love you've always dreamed of. And it sort of looks like somebody's taking the action to be transparent about that. It's like, you can see me. You know, I'll let you see me. I'll let you see my heart. You know, we can do this together. We can build this together. Card of Leo, the Sun card. All these wands, Leo energy, Knight of Wands, elevated to, in major arcana, you know, what's ruling now in the psyche is this brightness, is this understanding. Here I am, cup in hand. Not head in hand, turn my face to the wall. It's like I'm coming right into a vibration where you can see me. On Nine of Cups, Chariot. Card of Cancer, water energy, moving towards something. And I see this now as kind of the spur. Go for it, giddy up. But it's still a bit aggressive. I think the intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. I'm in the Wayback Machine, tune-wise. Playing a jukebox here. For those of you who don't know what that is, you put your money in and play a tune. Put your money in and play a tune. So we have Cancer, Leo on the board. And this is basically really driving toward your dreams. It's intentional movement, but it's deliberate, and it's elephant movement. It's slow. And one step at a time. It's not charging like this. This is charging in. All charged up, all fired up. How did this energy change? And was this person just enthusiastic, not aggressive? You know, they were immature, so they were sort of scattered energy because they didn't know what to do with this connection. Queen of Swords on Two of Cups. This is a feminine energy, but it's a masculine, it's a feminine and a masculine energy. Swords are masculine, so are wands. You know, kind of, it's feminine, but it's sharp. It's, this person is no pushover. And they would set a boundary against anybody who was coming forward, not telling the truth. You know, if you understand sword energy, this connection, Two of Cups, you know, scrape the, you know, clean your feet on the doormat. Don't come in cray-cray. She has a boundary up. So they have, in a sense, they want to poke it to see, like, what is this? I'm willing to move towards you fast and erratically. So maybe it's the feminine who has the boundary up. Maybe both parties do. But there's so much love here and so much potential. So much fire. Life force energy. Let's see about the choice. Oh, wowie. Tower. Somebody blew it? That's a Scorpio energy. Water again. Like they got to the crossroads. And it destroyed their world in a way. But it certainly sped somebody up. They somehow transmuted this ending into energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So like perhaps their old circumstance collapsed. And they were motivated by their feelings, which couldn't be contained anymore. You know, they leap into action in a kind of, I'm a fool for you, baby, way. Tell us about Four of Wands. Is it this one? Seven of Wands. Like Queen of Swords, it's an energy of boundaries and protection. This bower is a safe place, almost like a safe house. You're protected. I think you have worked out your feelings to the extent that, you know, you have boundaries, you have a kind of filter. You know love when you see it, sword energy. You know it when you see it. And somebody is really changed up so they're willing to be seen, seeking and willing to be sought. The heart that is, you know, looking for love and willing to receive it in. But there's a card of coming together and also a card of boundaries. This person may not be ready yet, or you may not be ready yet. You've got the raw materials to build the bower, but you have to drop some of the defenses in order to access those wands, to build a place where you both can live. You know, energetically, there's room for both of you. In this situation, there was not room for either person. You know, they both come flying out of the tower in traditional Rider-Waite, you can see. two people getting blasted out of this old paradigm that wasn't big enough. You know, it somehow like was belittling. It was a paradigm where emotions were kind of not belittled exactly, but somebody was playing small. Somebody was playing small. So it's like breaking out of the tower and then free at last, you know. Let me love. But it may be that the queen is uncertain. She's got to sort of hear them out, test their, you know, is what you say true? Does it resonate with me? Does it align with my truth? Can I trust your feelings now that you're coming in to express them? Knight of Wands. It's about expression and creativity. Didn't I say something about where creativity and fear can't exist in the same space? I see this as a card of a Scorpio. There may have been a fear of expressing feelings. Real anxiety about it. So this Knight of Wands was a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going off the edge. I'm leaping toward love in a kind of, you know, maybe erratic way. And the Queen of Swords is like, cool it. We have to talk about this first. I think this person wanted to skip that step. Talk about my feelings. Talk about what got me here. And Queen of Swords is like, yeah, that's my ask. That's what I expect. That's who I'll connect to. On Knight of Wands, Five of Cups. Well, this person feels like they missed the opportunity and they're very sad about it. But the dove is still here. But somehow there's a focus on it may be a relationship where at the time this love was too immature to really come to fruition. It was there, but somebody was kind of stuck in their sadness. Perhaps that's the tower. Being trapped and constricted by love that somebody that didn't show up for you. And now Two of Cups energy and Queen of Swords is saying, hold up there. Where are your credentials? It's a little bit that way. So tell me about their credentials. Something happened in their lives that just like blew up the paradigm. Couldn't do it that way anymore. The feelings were now too big. And Queen of Swords may be locking out their sadness, setting up a boundary to relationships that just make them sad. There's a movie called The Big Sick, which I really recommend it. It's great. But at one point, the woman says to the man, he's trying to win her back. He treated her terribly when she was ill. Before she got sick, before he knew she was ill. She was somehow his contact information. So she ends up in the hospital and they call him. So he's there every day, every day, every day at her bedside. And he has to call her parents and kind of explain it. Like, the mom knew already, you're the one who broke her heart? You're in the hospital with her? So he has to convince her and the parents that he loves her, that he deserves a chance, even though he's hurt their daughter. So there may be something about the whole family feeling like this person, the whole family may be in Queen of Swords mode. Not until you explain yourself. And the woman ends up, I'm not spoiling it because there's more that happens after this point, but she says to him, I don't want to be around you. You make me sad. You just make me sad. He was in, his parents kept trying to pair him up in some sort of arranged marriage. And he didn't want that, so he'd sort of turned against all relationships, and then he fooled around and fell in love. Three of Swords. There may have been a third party, and this one wants an explanation. Tell me the truth. So there's love and there's hurt here. And it's in the Queen's energy, this Three of Swords. It can be the memory of hurt. Something went down, it was bad. It blew a relationship, it blew a potential for love apart. This person made a choice to head in a particular direction. They may be now wanting to redirect and come back. And they're going to have to be able to talk about this. And it was their own pain and the other person's pain. You need to be able to acknowledge it and talk about it, so at least there's enough understanding so that this, somebody's got to reveal themselves. And maybe the fact that they were hurt too. Their heart, Knight of Cups, was pierced too in a way that made them defensive against a Four of Wands relationship. So they were fighting their own best interests, their own potential for happiness. I think both parties did that because somebody hurt the other person, so they hurt the other person back. So it just started to be ricochet, where the hurt was ricocheting around between these two and in both people's memory. Nine of Swords. So it created a lot of anxiety and fear. And if that's what Queen of Swords has their boundary up against, it's pretty sword energy, understandable. But nobody wants to live in fear. Because if you have your boundary up, you're afraid of being hurt again, Five of Cups. You're setting a boundary against love. So there has to be some way to recognize bullshit, because the Queen of Wands has a shit detector. You can recognize both what's love and what's not love. So there's, really can put down the anxiety, the need for such a fearful stance. Because Queen of Swords knows themselves, so they're able to recognize the truth. They're a truth teller, so they know truth when they hear it. Judgment. That's a crossroads energy, like Two of Wands. And it's a call to new life. Do you want to accept life as it really is? Are you willing to hear the truth? a truth that will set you free. It's an end to the old and a beginning of the new. It shows in traditional Rider-Waite people coming out of the coffin. It's a card of forgiveness, balance, healing. So tell me about how this person, how these two, one with the boundary up, maybe both with the boundary up, will get into this place of healing. I mean, right now they're only balancing in their resistance. You know, you resist, I resist, ricochet rabbit. It's all collateral damage. 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and afraid it's going to happen again. And then it's like some sort of peace sets in. So we have boundaries and love repeating again and again. But the major arcana are Tower, you know, the old slate is wiped clean. The new thing is balanced and healing. The mind is balking. But in that same fire energy, revelation and like coming clean. Telling a truth about what you feel. I mean, because if you try to contain what you feel, it can't be contained. Love grows or it dies. Love grows or it dies. Boy, have we got a lot of fire energy. 6 of Wands. This is a card of victory. After a struggle. And the other day, this card came up and I saw it as the open, there's something open about this, the open connection or the open net. It's kind of the opposite of this. So some sort of battle or struggle has been won to rebuild out of defensiveness this meeting place, this bower. Remember, I think I said it was an open structure. You know, you come in of your own free will, Wands energy, or don't come at all. If you need more protection, if you need the boundary, don't let them in. But if you really listen to them and they seem to be telling the truth about this, what they feel, and there's been a massive change in Tower. And in that same Cups energy, slowly moving, not back to the same old used to be, but moving on to something more expansive and more that's joyful and happy and success. Queen of Wands. You know, somebody has come into their power, their mystical power and their creative power, and a kind of, I do it my way. It's not stubborn, but it's somebody who knows what they want to create, and it's something open and workable. 6 of Wands. They're ready to do it. And both this could be a same-sex couple. And somebody's now willing to be transparent about that. Some sort of radical love, and radical in its root meaning means root, I think. Rooted in some kind of truth. Queen of Wands is a manifester, does not chase, attracts people in. But there's also this aspect of, like, you know, being questioned at the doorway. Are you real? Are you telling the truth about this connection? What you feel about it? Is this person, are these the same person? I mean, there were all these twos, so I think it's two people. King of Wands. On Queen of Wands, what are the odds? The match. In some kind of open weave, you know, where there's room for the fire. These guys give each other room, and I think it's room for the relationship to grow out of some old paradigm. This was the old way, and there's no going back. There's only forward movement. And I think the need to choose a direction that's creative for both people. Nobody gets quashed. It's not like one person's growth or fire is bigger than the other one's. It's equal and opposite, you know, equal. Both people bringing their creative energy to bear on this relationship. Nobody can opt out or outsource. Both parties have to do it to contribute to it. And what you end up with is this, something as bright shining as the sun. I think that's from Amazing Grace. And this is grace. This is grace. You know, after all the hurt and the anxiety and the overthinking, you know, an angel of grace, an energy of grace steps in and kind of shields and balances these two. I don't think I'm articulating it very well, but it's kind of a brilliant read. I think at some point the queen, male or female, hears the truth, recognizes it, recognizes the truth of this connection and is able to align with it. Because these two are a match. And it could be your internal masculine and feminine, the do it and receive it parts of you, in a loose weave, so that the energies can flow back and forth. It's not like a boundary that is fixed in stone. And even this boundary may be too much. There's still growth, but it's I'm not sure, because this is protection in fire energy, and so is this. Maybe it's protecting the relationship, protecting the bower, somehow declaring the love. Everybody can see it. You know, there's no shame in this game. Okay, one more, please. Let it be one. Temperance. Oh, goodness, I thought that the Judgment card was the Temperance card. This is new life. I mean, I started seeing it as temperance, as fire energy. But it's a call to new life. Life force energy. And this is a card of, this is the healing and the blend and fire energy in Sagittarius. There's protection all over this reading. Like, is it risky to love? Always. You're always on that edge, that kind of fool around and fell in love. And the guy in the song isn't really happy about it. I mean, it's sort of like, yay, I found love. But it'll involve somehow the taking down of the old way of feeling about things. Now it's a blend, it's the two. It's the King and the Queen of Pentacles heading in the same direction. Is there more? Is there more? Is there more? No, that's it. Yeah, it's a very positive read. Judgment. Sun, which is Leo and divine masculine energy. Temperance, which is also fire energy like the sun. But this is Sagittarius. It's sort of like the psyche of these two are busy undergoing some kind of alchemical change. You know, the mixture of the two cups. And I think Queen of Swords, whoever this is, may have known sword energy, how to open their heart. But they were hurt by the fact that they were approached by somebody who didn't have staying power, Knight of Wands, who came and went, and it kind of blew the situation up. The foundation wasn't stable because the energies were going in and out. They were unreliable. A chance to rebuild on the basis of forgiveness, Judgment card, and transparency, and balance, and healing. All these major arcanas are very positive. Chariot. Even the Tower is positive because it's liberating. And I think that this person kind of, after the liberation and the Tower, they come out kind of like the young foal, you know, kind of weak on their pins, you know, kind of not knowing which direction to go in and kind of erratic. Wanting love but not knowing how to approach it. Wanting this meeting place bower situation. But unsure that they could contribute anything to the change. Change has happened, Tower. Healing is on its way in, and forgiveness. I love this reading. Not without its challenges, but fives indicate a need for change. On the level of emotion, and change came dramatically, starting on a whole new footing. And the key thing is transparency. Then we can move toward happiness. And I just glanced over at the bottom of the deck there, and there's a card of healing. We have the pain, we have the healing, which involves some new way of looking at it or new understanding. maybe of why somebody was so afraid, why they felt so vulnerable. They didn't want it to happen to them again. May have happened in their lives before, and they had this memory of the hurt. Healing. And it is, in some ways, a card of passivity. It's like taking a time to heal the old fears, the old hurts, by not engaging. Engage on this level of the psyche. Both parties participate in forgiveness. Both of them, the 2 cups. It's an alchemy. I mean, if this relationship is to survive, the hurt, the pain, the fear, the anxiety, the defensiveness, both people have to be on board. Both people have to be ready to do it. It kind of looks like that's the end result, because we have moving toward happiness, on the move, this Chariot, riding toward it, and it's a change that happens fast in the psyche and might have taken weeks or months to make its way into 3D life. But apparently there's a real opportunity, that Wands energy, the belief in it, the desire to move toward it. Some alchemy, we had that the other day, the alchemy has taken place. And there was no choice, really. Couldn't go backwards. If you were going to go forward, if these 2 were going to go forward, they both had to choose the relationship. A new one, a creative one. I think they did this. And it may not be with the same person. I never say that, and every time I rewatch the video, I think, ooh, that's a mistake. Because if Queen of Swords had her boundary up against bullshit, and the paradigm came down, and now she can see true love when it comes toward her, it may not be that same person. Maybe somebody new, who's actually what they wished for. They've manifested this person. They've manifested each other. Whatever it is, though, this is somebody who will do it, and do it joyfully. And they'll have, they'll follow their intuition into this. They'll open their heart, and so will you, the 2 cups. Anyway, I think I'm repeating myself. So we have on the board Judgment. I think I started to do this. Leo in the Sun. Sagittarius in Temperance. Cancer in Chariot. Scorpio in the Tower. A lot of fire in this reading. A lot of love, a lot of change, a lot of creativity. And it's moving in the right direction. It's a loving direction. And it's something that has to do with transparency. And we can do this. I think Divine Masculine, and it might not be the same person who blew it before. It may be something new, new life. But there is forgiveness and healing here. So regardless of whether the old person is coming in to heal the thing, or whether you meet up with somebody, 4 of Wands, who's headed in the same direction, who is passionate about, you're not matchy-matchy, but you're complementary. Between the 2 of you, the blend is alchemical change. And at first the change is like this. And then the change is like this. Okay, you guys. Oh, people say they don't mind, but I kind of mind a little bit because not so much in this one. Often, though, I'm 3/4 of the way through the reading before I hit on what seems to me to be the essential business. And I could have probably stopped when I got King and Queen of Wands, but I didn't. I poked a little further. I poked at Knight of Wands, and it proved to be true.